Inside Bobcat Football is sponsored by H-E-B, Bud Light, and Central Texas Medical Center.
Down the sideline, inside the 40. They will not catch him today.
This week at Inside Bobcat Football, the Cats are back from San Jose State, and we have all the highlights against the Spartans.
Breaks another tackle to the 15-yard line, breaks another to the 20. Coming back left, 25-30. Erickson breaks a tackle to 40.
Plus, what does it take to be a linebacker for the Bobcats? We break down their role in the 4-2-5 defense. And basketball season is on the horizon here at Texas State as we look ahead to hoops and the WAC. But first, here's Bill, the Bobcat head coach, that is Franchione.
Good to see you, Coach Fran. Here we are in the Champions Club at Bobcat Stadium, and this past Saturday, of course, the Bobcats went out to the West Coast, took on a very good San Jose State football team. One of the keys that you talked about was the Bobcats getting off to a good start. In the first quarter, the Bobcats were down 3-0. The second drive for the Bobcats, really a work of art in terms of mixing the pass and the run. Big 24-yard catch and run by Andy Erickson. Deshae Milburn had a couple of catches, 17 yards, and then a key third down catch of 8 yards. You're faced with a 4th and goal at the 1-yard line against the Spartans. Take us to the sideline. What was the thought process on deciding to go for it, and what did you think about the execution, play call, and the score?
Well, from our standpoint, if you're going to upset a team like San Jose on the road, you got to go for that touchdown right there. There wasn't any doubt in our mind. And we ended up calling timeout, but we never changed our play call. We were all on the same page on that from the get-go. And Sean did a great job of executing it. Tim Gay threw a nice block, and Devin Baker at tackle threw a nice block, and Sean got the ball pitched to Marcus Curry and got the score. So it was a good executed call and got us the lead in the first quarter.
Back and forth kind of game. You're down 10-7. Turnovers was another key you mentioned. The Bobcats on the day ended up winning the turnover battle 3-2. Daryl Morris, senior cornerback, another interception, a big play at midfield. What did you think of the defense overall in the first half?
Well, we got some pressure on the quarterback on the play that Daryl got the interception. It's too bad he tripped. I think it might have been a pick six. It really looked like he had a lot of blockers in front of him to take it all the way. You know, San Jose is a good offensive football team with a lot of weapons, and we stood in there and pretty well went blow for blow with them through the first half offensively and defensively, and got the big turnover and actually ended up with 2 interceptions in the game. They'd only thrown 3 all year, so that was really good. I thought both of our corners, Daryl and Craig, played really good on defense.
Another big run ended up being a touchdown of 45 yards by Sean Rutherford. If you would, real quickly, walk us through that play. It was a tremendous scheme, tremendous play, I thought, by the Bobcats.
Well, we lined up in a balanced formation and motioned Chase Harper across the formation, and him and the tackle did a nice job of swooping their block up to the linebacker, and it was an option. The guy ran to the pitch, and we got a good block downfield from Deshae Milburn, and Sean did a good job of weaving and darting through their secondary and making a good run. He got some big blocks downfield. Mike Yoder threw a real big block on the backside linebacker that people don't see, but he got a cut on him, and that was probably the difference between it being a 20-yard gain and a touchdown.
All right, Coach, when all was said and done in the first half, the Bobcats go in the locker room ahead, 20-17. Let's take a look at the first half highlights.
The Bobcats are in sunny San Jose, California, looking for a 2-0 start to conference play. The Spartans have the ball first, and quarterback David Fales fires for the end zone, but his pass for Chandler Jones is broken up by Craig Mager. San Jose State settles for a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Next possession for the Spartans, the Bobcat defense comes through again as Phillip Benning buries Chandler Jones for a loss of 2. After a Spartan punt, the Bobcats get to work at offense. On 3rd and 4, Sean Rutherford delivers a bullet to Andy Erickson. After shedding a tackle, Erickson takes off along the sideline for 24 yards and a first down at the Spartan 32. 2 plays later, Rutherford again with a quick release as he connects with Deshae Milburn, and the shifty sophomore sounds his way for 17 yards and another first down inside the 10. Big moment of the first quarter. Cats face with 4th and goal from the 1. Rutherford with the option pitch to Marcus Curry, who strolls into the end zone untouched for his 6th rushing score of the year as Texas State takes his first lead of the game, 7-3. After the Spartans responded with a touchdown to their own, the Cats trailed 10-7 in the second quarter. Ensuing kickoff, and Harrison Wade makes a mistake of kicking to Japhus Gaines. A top kick returner to the WAC blazes ahead for a 43-yard return. Following an interception from Daryl Morris, Texas State has the ball, faced with 3rd and 5 from the Spartan 45-yard line, and Sean Rutherford is going to cover those 45 yards. An electrifying touchdown run by the senior quarterback is the longest of his career, and it puts the Cats back in front 14-10, and it gives Rutherford and his teammates plenty of reason to celebrate. Back to special teams. While Japhus Gaines is a WAC's top kick returner, Andy Erickson is the conference's top punt returner, and here you see why. Erickson just refuses to go down and takes the ball all the way back to the San Jose State 41-yard line, good for a 54-yard return. First play of the drive, Rutherford can't find anybody open to his left, checks back down to the right and finds a wide-open Marcus Curry for 13 yards, setting up a field goal from Will Johnson to give the Cats a 17-10 lead. Late in the first half, of the score now tied at 17. Rutherford with another option and pitches the ball to Tim Gay. The Bobcats ran for 127 yards in the first half, 48 coming from Gay's run, putting the Bobcats back in field goal position. And for Will Johnson, a 42-yard attempt is no problem. Johnson bangs through the field goal with plenty of leg to spare, and it gives Texas State back the lead as we've come to halftime from Spartan Stadium with the score Texas State 20, San Jose State 17.
Up next, we're taking a look at the linebackers.
First half highlights are brought to you by H-E-B.
Right now, inside every H-E-B, certified meat cutters are working for you. You may not see them, but you'll see their work. All that fresh, 100% pure beef with nothing added but skill and devotion. Others may have guys stocking meat trucked in from who knows where. Is that fresh? No sirree, Bob. This is what a real H-E-B meat cutter looks like at work and at play. No store does more to bring you great beef at low prices than H-E-B.
In the Western Athletic Conference, we play up. It's how we define sportsmanship. And it begins with every player, every coach, and every fan. Because everything we do rises from the foundation of our character. Playing up comes from honesty, dedication, and hard work. Play up is sportsmanship in action, in every game, every day. That's what the Western Athletic Conference is made of. Play up.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box puts all your favorites in one epic box so you can build the perfect dinner. The best part, how you fill it is up to you. For a limited time, get 2 medium 1-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks with marinara, and your choice of wings, Tuscany pasta, or 4 stuffed pizza rollers. All just $19.99. And right now, when you order the Big Dinner Box online, score a free 2-liter Pepsi. Only at your Pizza Hut. Make it great.
How do you show your Bobcat pride? Now you can show it off and keep your money here at Texas State, because whenever you buy at the University Bookstore at Texas State, that money stays here on campus. Apparel, books, gifts, and much more. Online or in the heart of Bobcat country, find it, get it, and keep it on campus. University Bookstore at Texas State, your bookstore.
To be a linebacker in the Bobcat defense, you have to be physical, assignment sound, disciplined, but most of all, you've got to be fearless.
Your linebackers have to be able to play in space, and it was obvious against Texas Tech. It will be when we play Louisiana Tech. They're going to spread you. They're going to use all 51, 52 yards of field and make you cover space. And so linebackers that were big pluggers and big bodies that could run over people, albeit they're needed against certain offenses, are not really the norm anymore. You need guys that can play in space. I think the term basketball on grass has kind of started to become more of the popular offensive style. One of the big characteristics that I look for in linebackers is whether or not they're tackling with their eyes in the ball carrier or if they're tackling with their ear in the ball carrier. And And I think there's something to be said about a guy who looks at his target, sees through it, runs through it, and a guy who turns his head right at the last second. You know, and it's a small thing, but it's a big thing when it comes to being able to play physical, because, you know, just turn your head slightly and all of a sudden you miss a running back at this level that you were tackling at the high school level.
Coach Brad, he's definitely a character. I love how his personality, though. He's real cool, down to earth, but he knows the game of football like the back of his hand, and he's learned from his father. And so, I mean, they both have a great football IQ. And Coach Brad, me and him butt heads at times, but I mean, that's gonna happen. But he knows what's best for us, and he always puts us in the right situation.
Coach Brad, he's cool. I mean, I can always talk to him. He's always there to talk to. He's cool. He have us over for dinner all the time. I mean, as far as a coach, that's who I like the most.
Drop low. You know, get in there. You know, get in there and just get in there.
Just like that. He always have nothing to say. I would be like, I'm listening, and then he would just shake and hit his fist.
Well, I think David Mayo's been a real pleasant surprise. He's had a tremendous season. He improves every week, and he is very intense about running to the ball, and he makes good things happen for us defensively. Brian Lilly's kind of the mainstay, the guy who's very wise to the defense, been in it for 2 years now, this being his second season, and he kind of makes sure that everybody, the structure around him stays solid, and he's having a good season. Damian McMiller's was really a pleasant surprise early in the season. He's been working through some things physically the last few weeks, but I'm real excited about where he can go. And then Jared Jeter, early in the season I was concerned that maybe we were dealing with a freshman, but he's shown that mentally he can handle it, and physically he's starting to show up in the games now, and that's exciting. The new linebackers have done a tremendous job, and they're right where I would like them to be mentally. All right. As a group, I think we obviously want to be 6-0. So 3-3, it's hard for you to say we're where we want to be. People are still running the ball with effectiveness against us, and that's a disappointment. And we have to take pride in that as linebackers. So I think we're a long ways away from where we want to be. And that's a great opportunity about football, is you get a chance to come out and practice every day.
Bobcat Profiles is sponsored by Central Texas Medical Center.
Not all ground beef is created equal, and the difference is this guy. The certified meat cutter you'll find at every H-E-B. Grinding the best beef in Texas, fresh in the stores several times every day. Not shipping it in from, well, wherever. It's so fresh, there's a darn good chance your beef left the grinder after you left the house. A miracle? No. To these guys, it's just the daily grind. No store does more to bring you great ground beef at low prices than H-E-B.
Okay, guys, this kick is for the win. Labels out.
Here we go.
Wait, what?
Our proximity to the field creates a parallel connection between the bottle and the ball.
The outward-facing label simulates a smoother contact surface for the kicker.
It's like magic, only real.
Really?
Yeah.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
Second half highlights are sponsored by Bud Light. The second half opens with the Cats up 20-17 over San Jose State. The Bobcats had a big first half run of the football, and Marcus Curry starts the third quarter with more of the same with a 17-yard gash up the middle for his longest run of the game. Following an early turnover by the Bobcats, the Spartans had the ball inside of midfield. San Jose State's Blake Jurich with a designed quarterback run but gets stuffed by Kebu Talelai for no gain. 3 plays later, David Freeman takes a handoff from David Fales, but gets drilled by Damian McMiller, who pops the ball loose, and it's recovered by Blake McCulloch on a play that fires up the Bobcat defense. Despite forcing the turnover, the Bobcats go 3 and out. Zach Robinson out to punt the ball away, and the Wax leading punter gets off a booming kick, a 58-yarder, his second punt to travel over 50 yards and pins the Spartans back at their own 22. After a pair of San Jose State touchdowns, the Cats now trail the Spartans 31-20. Sean Rutherford made his share of big plays running the football against San Jose State, leading Texas State in rushing for a second straight game with 70 yards on the ground. Now in the fourth quarter, and the Cats still down 11. The Spartans have the football deep in Bobcat territory. San Jose State quarterback David Fales has thrown just 3 interceptions all season going into the game, but throws his second here as Craig Beggar comes up with a big INT in the end zone. One of the biggest stories all season has been the emergence of Andy Erickson, who was the Bobcats' leading receiver for a 4th straight game, finishing with 4 grabs for 53 yards. The Bobcat defense also made its share of big plays against the Spartans and held San Jose State scoreless in the fourth quarter. Damian McMiller had a season-high 5 tackles for Texas State, but the Bobcats' first road game of the WAC would end in defeat in California. Your final score from Spartan Stadium, San Jose State 31, Texas State 20.
And looking at the second half, field position was so key. In the first half, our average starting field position was the 42-yard line. There in the second half, it was the 23-yard line. How does field position impact all phases of the game?
Well, it's pretty major. You know, odds are not with you to go 75, 80 yards very many times during a football game. And so we were backed up, and we didn't reestablish field position very well offensively, and we didn't maintain it very well defensively, so we were backed up most of the second half, and that was probably the biggest difference between the first and second half. We wore down a little bit defensively. We ended up being on the field for about 36 minutes, and I think as the game wore on, we wore down, and that's happened to us a few times this year in the second half. Another bright spot, yet again for the Bobcats, was in the special teams department. Going back to the first half, Andy Erickson, an exceptional 54-yard punt return. As the Bobcats headed back on the airplane Saturday night, you've got Andy Erickson, 3rd in the nation in punt return average, Japhus Gaines, 7th in the nation in kickoff return average, and just to add a little icing on the cake, Zach Robinson, your punter, is 9th in the nation in punting average. Key part of the game plan, isn't it, to have exceptional special teams? It really is, and you know, according to our statistics, we always look for what we call hidden yardage in the kicking game, and I think we felt like we had 173 yards of hidden yardage, which is basically our punt return starting points, our returns, our kickoff return starting points compared to theirs with our returns and things like that. So it helped to set us up in field position. Andy Erickson, he is magic. I don't know how he got out of that punt return. Caught it a little deeper than you'd probably like to, but my goodness, I counted on the film on Sunday that he had 8 people miss tackles. I don't know how many of them we blocked. We got in the way of some of them, but there were a few times I didn't even know where he was anymore. He got lost in that crowd, and he'd squirt out of there, and he's going to take one to the house before the season's over. Coach, I know the kids were disappointed with the 31-20 loss to the Spartans. Your guys go into every game expecting and wanting to win. What were the takeaways from San Jose? Well, I think we're growing in some areas that we need to, such as the physical style of play that we have to play at this level, the mental toughness that it takes to compete in tough games like this and have a chance to win. You know, we played a great first half. We wore down in the second half and didn't do quite as well offensively or defensively in the second half. But we played a good football team. We had a chance to win the football game, and we're going to get closer to getting those things done as time goes on.
All right, Coach, one big, long road trip in the rearview mirror. Another one coming up, of course, taking on Utah State. We'll step aside for a second. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Utah State Aggies.
Up next, we'll take a look at men's basketball.
Hey Bobcat fans, like us on Facebook and follow us at TX State Bobcats on Twitter. Keep up to date, learn new things, and win free stuff.
Innovation, exploration, creative discovery. These are the trademarks of Texas State University. As the state's newest emerging research university, we're transforming your world one mind at a time. Your world, our research. Texas State University, the rising star of Texas.
Welcome to Bud Light Fantasy Football, where every bottle is a player.
My Bud Light threw for 4 TDs.
Draft players using codes on specially marked bottles of Bud Light.
Mine won the game with a 60-yard field goal.
Manage your team at budlight.com/FFL.
My Bud Light fumbled at the 3-yard line.
My Bud Light extended my winning streak.
When Bud Light is on your roster, every game is a win.
My Bud Light made him cry.
Bud Light Fantasy Football. Start building your team today.
All right, Coach, again, at the Champions Club at Bobcat Stadium, Gary Anderson's Utah State Aggies are 7-2 on the season coming into this upcoming Saturday's game. What can you tell us about the Aggies' offense?
Well, this is a good football team, and they're hitting on all cylinders offensively. They've scored 40 points each of the last 3 games. Their quarterback, Chucky Keaton, is from Houston, and he's doing a great job. They've got a good tailback. They're pretty balanced run and pass, and they're doing a good job with their diversity of their offense.
Go to the other side of the ball defensively. When I've seen Utah State, word that comes to mind, toughness. They're 6th in the nation in scoring defense. What are the Bobcats going to have to do to get the ball in the end zone in Logan, Utah?
Well, this is a good defense. We're going to have to play well. It's more of an odd front defense than what we've seen most of the year. We've seen a lot more even front defenses. They mix that in just a little bit, but it's a little bit of a unique style of defense, but one they play very well. They're very aggressive, and you know, you go up and down their schedule, nobody's scoring very many points on them, so we're going to have to find a way to get our share of points and find a way to get one more than them.
Real quickly, Coach, it was 72 degrees in San Jose, California this past weekend. We understand that the thermometer, it's going to drop when you go to Logan, Utah. Is there anything you do differently when you take the kids to a cold weather environment, high elevation?
Well, I don't think the elevation really matters in 24 hours. You know, obviously if we'd run into snow or things like that, it might be a little unique for us. But really, if the sunshine in Logan, Utah, I haven't been there before, it won't be uncomfortable at all to play the game, regardless of temperature. If it gets down into the teens, it might be a little bit different and if the wind's blowing. But if it's a fairly sunny day and a calm day, usually it's pretty comfortable there.
All right, Coach, we will grab our jackets and we will see you in Logan, Utah this Saturday. Great luck against the Aggies.
All right, thank you.
Bobcat basketball season is right around the corner as the Cats get ready for the first season of the WAC. Here's a look at the men's basketball program.
We're very excited about this year, and with reason to be. This is the first time really at this point of the year where I'd say we're really ready to play somebody else and tired of playing each other. The newcomers are outstanding, but you know, the core group that we had coming back we're very excited about, and those guys have shown the experience from our early workouts and the leadership and the understanding of how we do things in our program to kind of help the new guys accelerate their growth and pace a little bit. The thing that is best about having good quality depth, when you have that, that makes your everyday practices better, and it makes you know, a drill in practice more effective. It makes a rebounding drill of practice. It makes a inter-squad scrimmage situation more game-like. You know, this is from top to bottom the best, most talent we've had and the best depth that we've had from top to bottom. But it's also the toughest schedule we've ever had. So, you know, those two things are gonna meet. And but I like this team that we've put together, and I feel like these are guys that certainly aren't going to be going to the WAC shaking in their boots.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box puts all your favorites in one epic box so you can build the perfect dinner. The best part, how you fill it is up to you. For a limited time, get 2 medium 1-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks with marinara, and your choice of wings, Tuscany pasta, or 4 stuffed pizza rollers. All just $19.99. And right now, when you order the Big Dinner Box online, score a free 2-liter Pepsi. Only at your Pizza Hut. Make it great.
How do you show your Bobcat pride? Now you can show it off and keep your money here at Texas State, because whenever you buy at the University Bookstore at Texas State, that money stays here on campus. Apparel, books, gifts, and much more. Online or in the heart of Bobcat country, find it, get it, and keep it on campus. University Bookstore at Texas State, your bookstore.
Now we welcome in Brant Freeman, the play-by-play voice of Texas State Bobcat football. Brant, going into the game against San Jose State, you and I, numerous conversations about how good, how talented San Jose State's football team was, and as it got into the second half of the football game, it showed.
It did, Bill. You know, San Jose State's got talent, offense and defense, and second half you could tell that their offense started to pick the rhythm up a little bit and wore down the Bobcats physically. That was a huge key going into the game, was physicality, who would win it, and it was the Spartans. But if there's, you know, some of the positives to look back at the game, if you're the Bobcats, special teams, between a 54-yard return on a punt for Andy Erickson, 43 yards for Japhus Gaines, 2 field goals for Will Johnson, and 2 big punts from Zach Robinson. Special teams was very good for the Cats.
And the Bobcats spend a lot of time working on special teams. Brant, you and I, of course, go out to practice, and everybody talks about working on special teams, but the Bobcats scheme for it, and they put the best 11 players out there in the return game, in the coverage game. Not really surprised the Bobcats have had success, but the level of success speaks a lot to the talent on the special teams for the Bobcats.
What it does is help out with field position. You spoke with Coach Franchione about that earlier in the program, and they're going to need that again this Saturday in Logan, Utah against the Utah State Aggies, a 7-2 football team. They've won 3 straight, all by more than 20 points. This team might be even better than the one the Bobcats saw a week ago.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? You look at the defense for Utah State, 6th in the nation in scoring defense, giving up just a shade over 14 points a game. Here we are in college football 2012. That's amazing. And you talk about their record, 7-2. They've won 5 of their last 6. The only blemish, a loss against BYU. No shame in that. Utah State, a talented team. Chucky Keaton, 19 touchdown passes. Not only can he throw it, he can run with it. It's going to be break out the parkas in Logan. We're expecting a high of 54 on Saturday. The high in San Marcos on Saturday is projected to be 81 degrees. A little bit of a difference there.
Well, Bill, we're looking forward to. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's show. For everybody at Inside Bobcat Football, I'm Brant Freeman. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Inside Bobcat Football is sponsored by HEB, Bud Light, and Central Texas Medical Center.